I was jolted awake at 6 a.m. by the growl of a bulldozer tearing through my backyard. A construction crew was gouging a trench straight across my property, claiming it was for the HOA's new water pipeline. Here's the kicker. I don't even live in their neighborhood. At first, I thought it was a groggy dream. No way heavy machinery was ripping up my land at dawn. But when I stumbled outside in boxes and bedhead, there it was. A backhoe, orange-vested workers, and a guy with blueprints acting like he owned the place. "What in the world are you doing?" I demanded. Without missing a beat, he replied, "Laying the new water line for the Oakwood Heights HOA. Should be done in a couple days." I stared, deadpan. That's impressive, considering this isn't Oakwood Heights. This is my land. Before we dive into the madness, let me back up. My name's Ethan, and I'm a land surveyor. Ironic, right? A few years ago, I inherited 10 acres of rugged, undeveloped land just outside a ritzy suburb called Oakwood Heights. It's the kind of place where every lawn is a perfect shade of green, and they'll slap you with a fine if your holiday lights linger past January 1st. A textbook HOA nightmare. I never joined their HOA because, say it with me, I don't live there. My property's adjacent, legally separate, and mine alone. I use it for storage, weekend camping, and escaping people obsessed with matching mailboxes. Yet somehow, these HOA folks decided my land was fair game. 2 weeks before the bulldozer invasion, I'd spotted 2 guys with tripods and clipboards near my property's edge. As a surveyor, I don't take kindly to trespassers, so I asked what they were up to. They mumbled about utilities assessments and infrastructure upgrades. I assumed they were scoping out a project on the Oakwood side and let it slide. Big mistake. Cut to that morning, and I'm watching an uninvited trench deepen by the minute. I told the foreman to stop everything. His reply? Take it up with the HOA. The nerve. I stared for 5 seconds, then said, "If I dug a pool in your living room, should I tell you to call your landlord?" He shrugged, clearly too underpaid to care. That afternoon, Lydia showed up. Every HOA has a Lydia. Flawless hair, crisp grey suit, and the charm of a tax form. She rolled up in a gleaming SUV, clipboard in hand like she was about to audit me, and said, "We understand there's been some confusion." "I'm not confused," I shot back. "You're building a pipeline through land you don't own." Lydia flashed a smile that screamed, "Novocaine." "Our plans showed this as part of the utility corridor. A clerical error, I'm sure. We can sort this peacefully." "You mean like peacefully halting construction and leaving?" I asked. She chuckled. "Let's not overreact. It's just dirt, hun. You're not using it." Few things ignite fury like being called hon while someone illegally trenches your land. Still, I stayed calm. You don't win by shouting. You win by letting them feel safe right before you yank the rug out. I told Lydia I'd consult my lawyer. She nodded like I was a kid playing grown-up and drove off, smug as ever. She had no clue I was already on the phone. I wasn't just mad, I was curious. As a surveyor, I eat property boundaries for breakfast. I know easements, rights of way, and how doomed you are without legal permission. And I had a trump card. No easement existed on my land. That pipeline was a legal train wreck. For days, I played it cool, letting construction roll while I gathered ammo, deeds, a favor from a county pal, and every line of my inherited title. No right-of-way, no approval, nothing. They'd built on pure arrogance. Then I struck gold. The underground water they were tapping ran under my land, and I held senior water rights for the area. Irrelevant until now, but suddenly, everything. I didn't tip off Lydia or the HOA. No letters, no rants, just a quiet call to the regional water district while their newsletter crowed about their HOA-owned water pipeline for the community. I filed papers to flip the script. They thought they'd steamroll me and stroll off with a utility. They didn't know I now controlled their water supply, and I was just warming up. Revenge is sweetest when it's cold, precise, and lawyer-approved. After Lydia's smug exit, I built my petty power portfolio, a folder of deeds, water rights docs, and surveys. If this were a movie, This is the montage where the geek discovers his superpower. I wouldn't just stop them, I'd make them pay for every stolen drop. First, I confirmed no easement ever. Their Oakwood Heights map was glossy nonsense. County plats showed they trespassed. Someone greenlit this, assuming no pushback, and they'd been right until they hit me. Here's the kicker. The aquifer they tapped wasn't random. It was part of a regulated basin, and my inherited rights gave me control. Water starting on my land meant I held the tap they'd hooked their neighborhood to. I met the water district, showed my proof, and asked, if someone builds a pipeline on my land and uses my aquifer without permission, can I cut them off? The answer, a glorious yes. I could block new draws pending review. They'd send a hydrologist to confirm. I left with forms that'd make Lydia sweat. I didn't need to touch the pipeline or sue, just file papers. Let them connect every home, then pull the plug. While I plotted, the HOA bragged. Their newsletter, A Greener Oakwood Heights, promised lush lawns and rising property values. I taped it to my fridge like a trophy. They still didn't admit they were on my land. I expected a follow-up, but Lydia must have thought I'd fold. I stayed silent, resisting the urge to fill the trench myself. Patience was key. By late spring, I was ready. The hydrologist verified the illegal access. I filed my complaint and cease and desist with a lawyer's signature, polite but lethal. I photographed the pipeline for proof. Summer hit hard, lawns thirsting, sprinklers churning. I submitted the final form notifying unauthorized users. Within 72 hours, water slowed to a drip. Residents raged, yellow lawns dying, sprinklers spitting air, furious emails. The HOA floundered, calling plumbers and officials to no avail. Then Lydia arrived, less polished, no pearls, just sunglasses and a fat folder. "We need to talk," she said. "Oh, now we talk?" I sipped coffee on my porch. "What happened to just dirt, hon?" She ignored the jab. "There's an unfortunate issue with the water system." "Unfortunate's one word," I said. "Illegal's another." She claimed a misunderstanding, outdated maps, good faith. I let her ramble until she asked, "Can we settle quietly?" I pointed to the trench. "That's trespassing. That water's mine. This fine..." I showed the cease and desist. $500 a day since you started." Her face paled. "I'm reasonable," I added, smiling. "I'll sell you access for a price." I didn't mention my backup, a farming co-op with deep pockets eager to buy. Lydia left, rattled. I knew the HOA faced a costly reckoning. Then Ryan, a resident, showed up. Not mad, but nervous. "Half the neighborhood hates you. Half wants your lawyer," he said. I smirked. Fair split. He got serious. This pipeline isn't their first grab. A year ago, they bulldozed a path through the Wilsons' land. Retired folks who took a hush money deal. They were too old to fight. My stomach turned. This wasn't just my battle anymore. "Most of us just want water," he added. "We didn't vote for this. Lydia runs rogue." I gave her terms. $250,000 and a public apology. She laughed until lawns died and residents revolted. Newsletters blamed supply issues, but my leaked cease and desist sparked chaos. Board meetings, profanity-free water graffiti. Lydia offered $5,000. I countered with $20,000 in fines. I installed a red valve on the pipeline with a meter and a sign taunting them. Residents gawked. Some waved. Then a law firm, not the HOAs, contacted me. Residents were suing for mismanagement, wanting my evidence. I agreed, staying anonymous. By midsummer, the HOA crumbled. Lydia quit, citing family time. The board begged, "What will it take?" I stuck to my offer. They paid $250,000, apologized on video, Mark, the new president, reading stiffly, and agreed to no future bills. I added a plaque. Private property, water rights enforced. The video stayed online 6 months. I upgraded my land. Solar, tanks, A mural of me thwarting a pipeline. Don't mess with surveyors. The Wilsons spoke out. Others found easement scams. Oakwood's shine faded. Listings dropped. Developers bailed. The water company offered a lucrative lease, benefiting farmers too. Lydia's daughter dropped off cookies, uneaten. The pipeline stayed, legally mine. Grass regrew. Residents thanked me. I'd beaten the HOA with wits and a valve, proving control comes from knowing your lines and enforcing them.